Kangaroos on three, 1, 2, 3. Kangaroos!
Hallo liebe Kangaroos-Fans und willkommen zurück zu einer neuen Folge von Jump, dem Kangaroos-Podcast. Hier gibt es immer die spannenden Informationen, hinter den Kulissen Informationen rund um den Verein aus der Barmer 2. Bundesliga Pro B. Und mein Name ist Kevin Kretzler, ich bin Redakteur des Iserlohner Kreisanzeiger, also nicht der Iserlohn Kangaroos, das irgendwann vielleicht mal. Anderes Thema. Falls ihr nichts verpassen wollt rund um den Verein, immer wieder ans Herz gelegt, der Instagram-Account, Facebook-Account von den Iserlohn Kangaroos und auch von IKZ Online, denn da gibt es immer wieder die ganzen spannenden Neuigkeiten, wenn wieder eine neue Folge erscheint, und da habt ihr dann auch entsprechend bei Instagram die Möglichkeit, Fragen zu stellen für den nächsten Gast. Die neue Folge gibt es immer wieder donnerstags vor den Heimspielen, und wenn ihr entsprechend nicht den Spielplan im Kopf habt, was völlig verständlich ist, und wenn ihr zu faul seid, auf den Websites nachzuschauen, dann auch immer wieder bei Social Media gucken, denn da seid ihr auf dem Laufenden. Die heutige Folge hat natürlich auch wieder einen Sponsor. Wir bedanken uns wieder bei Automobile Pütter, die diese Folge möglich machen. Und ja, jetzt freue ich mich auf den heutigen Gast und switchen auch wieder ins Englische. A very warm welcome to Diante. Hi.
My guy. My guy. What's up?
It's very nice to have you here. I think this will be a very interesting conversation.
Yes, it will.
But let's start in the not so far past. How did you spend your holidays? Did you go home since you are from America, New Jersey, I think?
No. I'm not making that much money yet. For this Christmas, I spent it with my woman, Jovella. We went back home to the Netherlands, and we spent it with family. Her side of our family, I didn't get a chance to see my side. And, you know, being American, I don't get to go home. So it's been 5 years since I've spent a Christmas with family. So I was blessed this year. It was awesome.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But you have seen your family in general, just not on Christmas, right?
Yeah, when I go home for the summer, it's like 2-3 months.
Okay.
So
do they get a chance to visit you, or is it just, during the summertime we finally get to see each other?
Well, my mom is a superwoman. So when I played in Amsterdam my second year, she came and saw me in Amsterdam with my godfather, and then she's actually coming here February 8th.
Oh, nice.
So I'm excited.
Nice. So you will put on a show for her?
Yes, that's the plan. That's the plan. I'm going to do my best, Mom. I'm going to do my best.
30-piece incoming.
Let's hope.
Looking back at the past year, what would you say was a moment, basketball-wise, that stood out to you?
This year?
Yeah.
Ooh. That's a really good question. I would say when we beat Paderborn. And I'm going to shout out Coach for this, because after the games when we win, we go into the huddle and he's always like, but that when we beat Paderborn was different. That was like, we can compete with the best of them, because that was a big game for us, a lot of pressure, and we performed. So I think that moment stood out. It really showed character with us.
So he's more stoic when he yells at you guys after victories?
Something like that. Coach is a very expressive guy when it comes to games, so he let it out. It was cool.
Otherwise, he just gets to yell at you during practice.
Oh yeah. And we're all used to it. It's a love-hate relationship, but we all need the push. The man is experienced. He knows what he's talking about, so he has every right.
Yeah.
So.
Last weekend, you played on the road. You went against ETB minus Essen. You won that game, and the last 2 games prior to that, you lost those. So how important was it for you individually, but also for the entire team, to get a victory there and not have this losing streak extend to 3 games from a mental standpoint?
Okay, I'll start with the team. It was good for us, just with confidence, because I promise no team works hard like us. We are on Coach Tony's workout schedule and Zasha, and I think that win just brought us back to the work we're putting in is working. And the losing streak, we still believed in it, but it hurts when you put in so much time and you lose games like that we know we could have won. So it was great for morale. We all feel good, and we're just ready for the second half of the season. For me individually, I mean, nothing changed. I still believe in coach. I believe in my teammates. And win or lose, I know what we put in day to day. So we'll always get it back.
What would you say worked really well in that past game compared to those games that you lost?
We stood together. I think just from beginning to end, we walked in as a strong unit and we played and left as a strong unit. I think there were points in the other games where we kind of doubted ourselves a bit, and it was hard to overcome because we were missing some players and some players were sick, and those are tough things to battle. But yeah, I think we held it together, and I think we needed those losses. I think we did.
To not get too high, or why would you think that's important?
Yeah, because we were winning, and we were winning. We were playing well. Players were putting up numbers, and we were excited. We were still working hard. Nothing changed. But I think every once in a while you got to get humbled. And it showed us that we have weaknesses that we need to address. And it opened our eyes to, if we don't bring it, no matter how good we're playing, any given night we could lose.
What would you say are those weaknesses that got, let's say, exposed, quote unquote, that you still have to work on?
I think just defensive unity and just knowing how to help each other. It's a new team, so that's tough. We're still learning each other's tendencies. And I think just keeping those leads, because we know how to get a lead, and building on that lead is really tough. And it's hard for new teams to be steady in that. And until I think we get that consistency with building a lead and keeping it, that's going to be a weakness for us.
So what's so difficult about maintaining a lead? Is it that you mentally check out, you relax a little bit, and you think, yeah, that lead is safe, we got them, we just have to get to the end of the game somehow? Or what's so difficult about that?
Nah, I think we just make some small mistakes, mental errors. But like I said, we're a young team, we're a new team. It's the first half. I don't think any of us expected us to be perfect. So if we were a blowout team in the first half, I think that would be more of a surprise than us not being it. So, and those are mental errors that we work on every day, and we're going to figure out. Definitely will.
Would you say it's a good thing to actually have those consecutive losses now in the first half of the season instead of the second half?
Absolutely. Thank God they were in the first half. Yeah, definitely in the first half. Definitely.
Because it takes so long to actually work on those habits that you talked about?
Yeah. I think it takes long. It's easier if everyone's healthy and everyone plays all the time. But we've had injuries and players missing, and that kind of shortens the process or lengthens the process. Excuse me. And yeah, I think it just takes time. It's hard to put a limit on it because you only need one game where it works, and all of a sudden everything starts to click. So.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the start of your career, or maybe go even further back.
Let's do it. Time travel.
Yeah. I read a lot about you.
Okay.
And when it came to the starting point of you playing basketball in high school, but since the listeners and the viewers on YouTube don't know anything about it, maybe you can talk about how it all began for you.
Okay. I have a very untraditional journey. So basically, I liked basketball growing up. I was never into it. And my mom, she put me in some rec leagues when I was younger. I played on my middle school team for a year and a half. But shout out Coach Gary, I was a guy that was in the game, stood in the middle and put my hands up because I was tall. But I never went home and practiced, watched the game. I just played because I was tall. And with that, I carried that over to my freshman year of high school. And I figured, okay, I'm tall. Let me just go play in high school too. And I realized, no, you have to work hard. You have to be really skilled. You have to train. And I didn't know any of that. Nobody in my family plays basketball except for my auntie Binta, but it wasn't like the level where she could help me. And I made the team on injury my freshman year. Didn't play the whole season. I was bad. I just wasn't good. I was more of a practice guy, defense, and went home. And I stopped playing after that because I didn't like it. It wasn't for me. I didn't appreciate the game enough to want to commit to it. And that's where I found track and field. and that was my love in high school.
But it didn't stay that way.
It didn't stay because of injuries. So my freshman year in college, I went out, and this is a funny story. So the freshman coach that recruited me to Rowan, the college I went to, I missed the first week of practice because I sprained my ankle playing basketball in the rec center. And he was so mad. And looking back, I realized that was a sign. But when I got healthy, I committed to that season. I finished that season, but I was having herniated disc in my back. So I was like, I'm done with track. I'm done. It's just too many injuries, too much going to the physio, and I just stopped. And I didn't play sport for 3 years. And, I just played rec basketball because, like I said, it was fun to me, but it wasn't anything I took serious.
I don't think we have rec basketball here. So is that like guys just getting together in a gym and hoop? Yeah,
so there's levels. In college, you have the actual team, you have club basketball, and then what we call intramural. Intramural is like just any student can sign up and just play in a small league. It's nothing serious, no stats, it's just up and down. And that's basically what I did.
Okay.
And it was just with friends,
So you still liked the game and kept in touch with it?
Yeah.
Okay. And then after you said that herniated disc was healed, you said, basketball, I'll give it a try again.
Not necessarily. I was more like I worked out more from the time I played. I stopped running track to my senior year when I tried out, and I was going through some things off the court. I wasn't really playing enough to call it on the court, but I was going through some things, and basketball found me in a way that helped me get through a lot of things I was going through. And I was like, I'm going to try out for this team for Rowan because I'm tall, I'm athletic. In the rec, I perform well, but I don't know how to play basketball. And I studied the game like a maniac for 8 months and tried out for the team, and I made it. Shout out Coach Crispin, you changed my life. That was my college coach.
Yeah. So when you say you studied like a madman for those 8 months, what exactly did you do? You watched games, you played more in your free time, or what exactly did you do?
I was doing 4 days for like 8 months straight. I was waking up, I would watch like little cone drills so that I knew how to train for myself. I was watching LeBron James highlights, Michael Jordan highlights, Shaq. I was watching highlights. I was reading books on how to become a professional basketball player. I was studying like how players train. I was doing everything because I said, when I come in, I'm not going to know anything, and I'm going to have to find a way to prove to the coach that I can figure it out. And that's all I need. I wasn't trying to be superhero. I just needed to show that I could figure it out. And that's what I did. I was working out. I would wake up at 5 a.m., go to the gym for an hour, go home, eat, nap, go back to the gym, eat, nap, go back, work out. Then I would go to the court down the street from my house, 9 at night in the dark, practicing windmill dunks. If you watch warm-ups, I always do a windmill because that was the first dunk I mastered. Oh, my gosh.
Well, it's always a highlight to have a windmill dunk.
Yeah, I got to get one in the game, though.
That would be crazy.
I got to get one in the game.
Off an alley-oop, off the glass, maybe?
Listen, Jorge.
Showboating like crazy.
Jorge.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first.
Get it done.
Yeah, man.
But how difficult is it to motivate yourself, to really invest your time like that when you're really starting from scratch?
It was difficult because no one really believed in me except for my dad and my mom, but my mom still wanted me to get a job. And I love her for that. It's what every mom would want her son to do. But I decided I'm going to pass on the money route of graduating college and going for the money. And I'm just going to work a part-time job and commit to basketball, even though I have 1 year of experience or 2 years at that time and no like vouchers. And the reason why it kind of worked for me was because I'm a perfectionist, and that kind of helped me because I would be doing dribble moves. I say, okay, I have to do 100 perfect crossovers. If I mess up at 98, 100 more. And I would literally do that every single day. So I think my perfectionism helps me motivate and just knowing that this is for me.
So how old were you when you started this rigorous workout?
I was 21.
It was 6 years ago.
6 years ago, I started training like a madman.
You couldn't tell. I mean, when I see you out there and you are doing that crossover in a one-on-one situation, it seems like you've been doing this since your teenage years.
Listen, man, I appreciate it. Every time someone says something like I appreciate it because it brings me back to those moments where I had no confidence in myself, but I was still doing the moves, still trying it, still working hard. And when you get those moments, it kind of reminds you like it worked.
Yeah.
It was worth it.
You mentioned your coach. It was Joe Crispin,
Yes.
who also played for the Los Angeles Lakers with Shaq and Kobe for, I
Yes.
think, six games.
Yes.
You were a raw player still after those 8 months, I would guess.
Yes, I was. Trust me. Yes.
But what would you say? What did he see in you to take that chance on you?
So he saw athleticism and work ethic. But let me tell you, Coach Crispin, his game plan with me, because I could protect the rim really well. Like I was blocking shots like crazy, and I could dunk. I didn't know how to run any plays. I didn't know how to do a 2-3 zone, none of that. But Coach was like, Rob, Nick, who are our point guards, if Deante's on the floor, run a screen when he rolls, find him and look to the corner. That's it. No plays. Just pick and roll with Deante. Don't complicate it. And he let me grow in that. And he saw that I worked hard. I was in the gym probably too much. Like I was going at 11 at night, talking to the janitors to turn the lights on for the last 30 minutes while he's cleaning. I was doing all that. And thank God it worked out because it was a lot of work. But I think the moment where he saw my actual like talent and potential was in a game where I caught a body. I dunked on a play off an inbound, and ever since then he started me for the rest of the season, and I just took off.
Yeah, I think that was against Franklin Marshall.
Yes, yeah. Oh man, what a game! I was so nervous.
Why?
Because I mean, the guy who was starting at the time, I forget who was starting, but for some reason he didn't start. So I ended up playing because of that reason. I forget what it was. And Coach told me for the game, he was like, "You're gonna play tonight. Be ready." I'm like, "Yeah, okay." Shaking. And when I caught that body, I was so, like, my teammates embraced me. And after that, it felt natural. Like, oh, I'm finally here. I can breathe now.
I couldn't find any footage of it, but was it anything special? Did you put that windmill dunk on him, or something between the legs? Or
it was a great dunk. Like I came from a baseline. The defender turned. He was a center. He put his hands up. Bah! I look like I've been doing it my whole life, but no, I've only been doing it for like 8 months. Take it till you make it, man.
Yeah.
So it was awesome, man. Life-changing.
What exactly did change, except for the fact that after that you were able to start every game?
What changed was my confidence, but also, you know what? I would just say my confidence. Like, my confidence. I believed in myself more, so I was able to go out there and be like, okay, I can do this again. I can run a few more plays, because if I can do this and I can do that, okay, this is working. And I just started figuring it out from there. It wasn't just go out there and, it was go out there with purpose now.
And probably during that season you were able to make some progress as well when it comes to understanding plays, where you have to be, how to protect the rim, how to actually roll to the basket and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was lucky that, so the cool part about coming in at that level was the learning curve. There was no room for me to be a slow learner, so it was perfect. I'm a great learner. I'm a great grower, so it worked out. And where Coach would show me a play in the second half of the season where I was starting, it's like, okay, I only have a day to figure this out. Even though I don't have the body language, the body like movements, the repetitions, because basketball's all repetition. The footwork for rolls, I was traveling a lot on post moves, and I had to figure that out. Otherwise, we're going to lose. So even though Coach is giving me time, we don't really have time because we still want to win a championship. So the pressure was on.
It also sounds like there's not much room for error for you, especially when you come in after 8 months of this intense training that you have on yourself. So either you were really kind of perfect during those first few months of the season when you weren't starting, or you made a lot of mistakes and coach said, yeah, fuck it, we'll still roll with him.
I hope it was that I was kind of perfect. But it's possible coach overlooked a lot. It's possible. Maybe I should give him a call and ask him, coach, was I as good as you really thought I was, or did you just overlook a lot? But I don't know, man. I think I was more perfect than I thought, because I also wasn't as... Like, I'm not a wild dude, so, like, I'm not going to go out there and be like, oh, nah, this is my ISO. No, I got to prove. No, I was playing my role. My role was very simple, and I think just keeping it in that tight role made it easier to be perfect, quote, unquote.
Did your role change when you started and that learning curve was actually there?
Yeah. My role went from just pick and roll and blocking shots to where coach was confident in our point guards giving me a post touch. Wasn't a lot. I would get like 1 or 2 a game if I'm lucky, and I would just put it up. Little quick hook shots. Coach didn't mind me shooting at mid-range if I was wide open, because he didn't know I could shoot. I knew I could shoot with potential, but I didn't prove it at any point. Like, that's not why he brought me on. So just little moments of growth, I would say.
So what was it, as the season went on, what aspects of your game did you continue to work on? Because there's only so much time for you to individually get better. So what would you say you focused on during that time?
I focused on being able to handle the ball, not dribble, handle, like being able to get to spots, retreat dribbles. I worked on my mid-range like a maniac. I love the mid-range. And I just worked on my rebounding and my strength. I kept it very simple. I knew everything else would, like, if I got an ISO, figure it out. Like, I didn't want to focus too much on that, because I wanted to really prosper in my role and build an identity before I start, you know.
It worked out. I mean, we get to see it a lot nowadays.
Yeah. I'm blessed. I'm blessed with a great system and a coach that allows me to be free and go for what I believe I can do. I think that's most important.
Yeah. During your rookie season, I think you were actually able to win the championship, the NJAC title.
Yes, we won the NJAC. Oh man, that was crazy.
Is that like in New Jersey, some kind of championship that all those colleges that are there fight for, or what is it exactly?
Yeah, so we won the South Jersey division of our league, and the NJAC is a tough division. Like, there were a lot of D3 schools that could have played like low Division II, and we won that. I don't think the Rowan won it for like 20-something years.
Oh.
So that's why it was a huge moment. And when we also got our ticket to the national tournament for Division III, and I was like, man, I came at a good time. Like, all right, I'll take it. I'll take it.
What was that like in your rookie season with that learning curve in mind, and to actually see that you are helping that team? You are partially responsible for this victory, for this championship. What did that do to you?
I'll be honest with you, man. I didn't really notice it until after I graduated, after I was done, and I realized, like, man, I really had an impact. Because in the moment, I was so humble in the sense of, like, my role, keep my role small and help the team as much as I could. That was my goal, stay humble and grow. And you don't really notice how big your impact is, because no one was really, like, telling me. No one was really like, Diante, you're doing this. Like, it was more subtle. And, yeah, I think after I graduated, I recognized I had a big part in it, So
how many years passed after winning that championship before you graduated?
Well, we won the NJAC my first year I tried out. Then Joe Crispin talked me into staying for my second year. And then we lost in the playoffs that year, and then that year I graduated.
Okay.
So I stayed the next year.
And Coach Crispin wasn't really a guy who believed in feedback?
No, he did, but Coach is so chill. Like, he's very much into staying humble And he would give me moments where, like, Deontay, you're doing this well. We need this. Keep doing this. You're growing. But it wasn't anything that I could take with me and say, like, y'all need me. And I liked it that way.
What would you say what's the most important thing that you learned from coach? Is it that being humble?
I would say he would always say, just play. Like, just play. He gave me a book called The Inner Game of Tennis, really popular book in America. It's about the mental side of tennis. And he gave that to me because I was struggling with free throws. And you always see me getting frustrated. And that kind of helped me, that book, learn how to just relax. And I think the biggest lesson is just play. Even now this season, whenever I'm having a tough start or a tough game, or I'm like, just play. Just play. It's just basketball.
So not get hung up on the moment.
Yeah.
Pass and just stay in the moment and focus what's in front of you, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, like just relax, appreciate where you are, and just give it your all. Like, don't put any extra pressure on yourself. And I think that's why he went so far, because he had that mindset. And he was coach is always smiling. He's always calm. I've always admired that.
That seems like a contrast to Coach Tony.
Believe it or not, Tony is a very calm person, just off the court.
Yeah.
Just off the court.
During the game, he's always pacing up and down, or just leaning there and just shaking his head.
Sometimes I just want to give Coach my jersey. Like, Coach, show us, because you could really go out here. He could still play, in my opinion.
Yeah, he says he has to lose some weight, and in 2 years he will be ready.
Wow. I hope I'm still playing for Iserlohn when he does. Catching a loud pass from Coach Tony will be a moment.
Yeah, I think so too. But I don't know, man. I think he will be 35 by then. So running the fast break could be challenging for him.
Hey, with Zasha training, you could do anything. You could probably fly, man. I'm telling you, that man knows what he's doing. So
he'll be like a leopard out there, but just taking off.
Hey.
So now you're 27 years old and you left college. You decided not to pursue a different job. You wanted to start a professional basketball career.
Yes.
And it took you overseas.
Yes.
So take us through that. Where did you actually go during all those years?
So COVID happened after college. So I was literally just training. And the tough part about COVID in America was, in my area, the police officers took all the rims down, because they didn't want people grouping up and playing sports. But I knew a good spot where I could get shots up until they took it down. But shortly after a few months of COVID, they started putting the nets back up, and I just stayed in shape. Shout out Ben Maffett. And I was able to go to a place called the U Movement. It was where that was my first real, like, training, professional training. Before that, I did everything really by myself. And I had a real trainer for a summer, and he allowed me to work out in his gym during COVID. And Ben really helped me get the fundamentals of being a basketball player. So that helped me get ready for when I got the call for Portugal, because I was getting turned down by so many teams just off of he doesn't have experience. What film does he have? He doesn't have experience. So it hurt. And I was sending out, man, I think I sent 100 and something emails to teams, like, vouching for myself. I'm Diante Bah. I know I don't have a lot of film. And my agent is funny because he called me, was like, you can't do that, man. You can't be desperate. You gotta let us do our job. Man, it was a great conversation because he understood why I was doing it, but I learned how to just, like, take a chill pill, trust your agents, and they got him in the gig in Portugal.
What was that like, to be away from home and to actually be a professional basketball player all of a sudden?
It was so scary. I was ready, but I was scared. Because when you get off the plane, all that goes to your head, especially as a rookie, is, where am I? What's the team going to look like? Are they going to like me? Is the coach going to like me? Am I going to get hurt the second day I'm here? Like, you don't know anything. And I went there, and BSCI was awesome. Absolutely awesome. I was in Santander. I was right by the ocean. My American teammate, Ronnie Russo, shout out Ronnie, one of the best players I've ever played with, point guard. He helped me get comfortable. It was both our rookie seasons, and we kind of went through that season together. My teammates were awesome. They all included us, and it was awesome, man. It was awesome.
But your journey didn't end there. You decided to take your talents elsewhere.
Yes, I kept going. That's all I know how to do is keep pushing forward. Then I went to Amsterdam. I played for Apollo, which was a very different season. I was getting paid a bit more money, and there was a bit more pressure because I was in 3rd division in Portugal, and we ended up moving up winning, but it was still 3rd division pressure. And then I all of a sudden go to the B Next, where now this team is investing money, everybody's getting paid pretty good, and more media attention, stuff like that. And the competition was a lot tougher. Yeah, but it was good for me. It was good for my development. And I performed really well in that league, especially for my standard. But I definitely had my lows there. That really opened my eyes to how much I really got to put in to be a real professional player. Speaking
of facts on the court or actually off the court?
I would say both because, like I said, I'm a perfectionist, and off the court I had to learn how to rest, and that was a big thing for me. I was so used to having to give everything all the time just to get a spot that I didn't know how to slow it down. And Amsterdam and Bosnia helped me learn how to slow it down. And then on the court, I had to learn real basketball, like real plays. I had to memorize plays as a 4, as a 5. I had to learn the real, I was really opened up to what it takes to earn money at this level.
It sounds really difficult, not just to remember the plays. I think that's something that you got used to during your college years as well. But to play a different position all of a sudden and be a 4-man.
Yes, I was nervous. I didn't think I could do it because I'm like, if I could barely remember the plays as a 5, you're going to make me remember the plays as a 4, and then I might, because there were moments where in the system we had, some plays I was the 4, some plays I was the 5, but it would switch on the court. There was no switching off the court.
Okay.
And that was also a big learning curve for me. But I had great teammates, and we all helped each other out, and thank God, because that was tough.
It sounds like as a 4-man, you would probably be a more of a floor spacer, and you would have to shoot more instead of get touches in the paint.
Yeah, I definitely shot the ball more. I didn't have good shooting percentages in Amsterdam. That was the first year I really had an opportunity to shoot the ball. I didn't get that in Portugal a lot. And, yeah, I was shooting like 19% from 3. Got off. And then 58% from free throw. And then I went to Bosnia, and I improved on that. So,
did your role change again in Bosnia, or were you still supposed to score the ball more?
Well, I came into Amsterdam as a 5'4". I went to Bosnia as a 4. So just a 4, and the expectations were different because now they expected me to drive to the basket, to consistently knock down corner threes, and be able to attack the rim and and kick the ball out. I wasn't really used to doing that in a game. Like practice, there's moments, but so my first coach, Rade, I would shoot 200 threes every day, and corner threes, top of the key threes. And I had a good percentage. I think I shot like 39% in Bosnia, so I was shooting really well. So,
that sounds like a huge contrast to your playing style that you were used to before. Actually attacking the basket from the corner or maybe top of the key, wherever you might have gotten a pump fake off or something like that, beating your man off the dribble. Well, when before you were mostly known as this defensive guy who in college protected the rim like crazy, and now that's not really your job anymore, and you're supposed to score.
Exactly. So it's different because I've always known I could do all these things, but I have no proof. Like I have all my proof is in my developmental years, and you can't really judge a book before it's finished being written. So my proof was when I got there and I could do it, or my agents vouching that I'm working on this during the summer and that he will come there and do it. That was really my proof.
Yeah.
So that was tough, and it's a lot of pressure too. Because, sometimes you believe in yourself, but you don't really know if you could do it until you do it. So.
And after Bosnia, I think last summer you went to Mexico?
Yes. I went to Matamoros, Mexico, right on the border. That was an experience. That was an experience. It was hot. It was hot, man. It was hot. Oh my God.
But as a Jersey guy, that's different.
Yeah, it was hot. The food was good. I mean, it was different because I never went from a season to a summer season. And in Mexico, it was condensed. So we had, I think, 20 games in 6 weeks, 7 weeks.
What?
So we were playing 3-4 games a week.
Wow.
Listen, I have never experienced that. And, like, we would drive 10 hours to play one game. Then we'd have a back-to-back, go home, drive another 8 hours, another game, back-to-back. But it was cool for me because that system allowed me to really get good with offense. They were said, just go out there and play. Just win us games. So that gave me the freedom to get more comfortable with all the things that I know I can do in an environment that I have freedom.
Yeah.
So,
but it sounds like, especially in Mexico, you really had to take your time to rest.
Yeah. It was, we didn't practice a whole lot because, you know, the traveling and the games, but it definitely was, that was different. That was different. That was different.
What would you say, how did all those experiences help you grow as a person, but also as a hooper?
Okay. I like this question. As a hooper, it taught me resilience and persistence, that regardless of where you are, if you have persistence and you have belief and support, you will accomplish your goals. You will. It may not be to the level that you believe, but you will accomplish your goals enough to satisfy you and bring peace. That's what I learned. And as a person, I built character. Like something really small is when I played in a polo, because in the Netherlands culture, they bike everywhere. That's like, biking is a big thing. I had to bike 6 miles to practice, 6 miles back home every day. Sometimes 2-3 times a day. And that little things like that, biking in the rain and still having to perform with heavy legs, tired legs, it all builds character in ways that you didn't know you could build character. And it just teaches you how to just appreciate when you do have better things. So persistence, appreciation, man.
Sounds like you got calves of steel in the Netherlands.
Listen, I've always had calves of steel. But they became refined in the Netherlands. That's funny.
I read in an interview that you said in Portugal you became a professional, but in Amsterdam you became a professional basketball player.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yes, I love this. So in Portugal, I became a professional because I had no idea what a professional basketball player life was. I read it in books, but I didn't experience it. And in Portugal, I learned how to take care of my body, the schedule, the expectations, how to work as a team, more in a sense of like, even though you're teammates, now it's a job. It's not just college. It's not just games. It's a job. My teammates, some of them had kids, so you got to learn how to balance out all that. My experience making money and having to save and all those things, just becoming a professional worker. And then in Amsterdam, I became a professional player, like I said, learning sets and experiencing the next level and learning how to adapt and talk to management, things like that.
Yeah.
So,
what would you say, looking back to your high school days, where you said, yeah, basketball, it's nice, but maybe it's not for me, to now, how did that relationship to the game change for you?
I think at one point in my life, basketball was just something that people do for fun. And then another point in my life, basketball is something that means something to me personally in terms of what I want to do with myself. I want to travel. I want to meet new people, eat new food. I want to push my body to its limits and really succeed in something that I believe I can do regardless of what other people say. So I think I had no purpose with basketball when I was younger. I found it later on.
So I think that's very cool. To have this, to find this purpose in life. A lot of people don't really have that, but actually find it in something that you said, nah, maybe that's just not for me.
Yeah, it's very yin yang. It's odd, man.
Would you say you approach the game differently now? after all these experiences that you made in different countries?
Ooh, I think that's a good question, man. That's a good question. I think my approach to the game is give it my all and just know that I gave it my all. Because as I became more professional, I realized only certain people really support you. And also, at any given moment, it could be taken away from you. And do you want to walk away from a game, a night, an injury, whatever, and feel like you left anything out there? And I just don't want to feel like that. So that's my approach.
We talked about different roles that you had in the past and that you have now. You started as this defensive center, and then you were supposed to do more on offense. And then in Mexico, you practically had free reign and just let it fly from everywhere. And you scored a ton of points there. I saw some of your stats on Instagram where you had a lot of 30 pieces.
Yeah.
So how did you handle that responsibility to actually not just be responsible for your own basket to protect it, but now to actually put the ball in the basket a lot more frequently?
Honestly, this is where I have to shout out my support. Like my American teammate, Jerry and Henry, he was a very seasoned player, like very popular, and he helped me, like taught me a lot of things, taught me how to dosify myself and not burn myself out, going hard in the first quarter. And then because for example, the very first game I had in Mexico, I had, I think, 30, 38, 39, I forget what I had, some crazy game. And in the next game, I had like 6. Why? Because I burnt myself out, and I didn't know how to balance it because I never had that role. He helped me with that. When I was in Portugal, Ronnie Russo, he helped me learn how to use my body in different ways to get better baskets. And just every year, I just stumbled upon teammates that just helped me out in new ways. So the role gets easier with my work ethic, but it also gets easier with the help.
Yeah. How difficult is it to be this two-way player all of a sudden? Because before you could just invest all your energy on protecting the rim and just rolling to the basket a couple of times during the pick and roll situation, and now you just have to do it on both ends. I think that's probably difficult to pace yourself and to conserve this energy to be able to do it on both ends for an entire game.
Yeah, it's tough, but especially because I love to hustle 110% every single second. So you have to learn how to tone it down to 100%, 90%. Never below 90 though, never, but know how to turn it down and turn it up. And then it also just comes with experience, knowing spots. I think that's the biggest thing that's helping me manage the two-way role, is knowing where I need to be and not being out of place. Like if I need to be in a certain spot, let me get there hard and make a move right away rather than trot there. Then the defender's on me. Now I got to really play one-on-one. So just learning little things like that.
Yeah.
So
another seasoned player who's very interested in you and apparently wants to beat you in a one-on-one situation is T.O.
T.O.
And he has a question for you that you would like to ask, and I think I have a couple of follow-up questions on that, but let's listen to him first.
Hey, Diante, just one question. When are you be ready for our one-on-one?
So I'm going to spill the beans on this one-on-one. So to guarantee that I don't lose, let me tell you, you listening?
How are you going to lose?
Listen. To guarantee I don't, T.O.'s a menace. T.O. promised, and I'm saying this, T.O., you're listening, he promised to play with only his left hand.
Wait. That sounds like T.O. is really a menace. If he cannot use his right hand, what's going on with this man?
I think T.O. is secretly on LeBron James level. I think T.O. is like Michael Jordan on low. He's just waiting for his right moment, and I think I'm his moment to show everyone. Yeah, so I told him, only use your left hand. Only use your left hand. But to answer the question, I don't know, T.O. I'm waiting on you. I'm in the gym every day.
He is too. I think there are some possibilities to make it happen.
Listen, Maybe I'll film it. Maybe we'll film it and post it on Instagram.
You have to film. Only if you win, though.
Only if I win, though. If we lose, T.O., I don't know.
Maybe you have a herniated disc. Something came up.
Man, T.O., I'm not feeling too well.
So who's the one who's shying away so far from that match?
I can't tell. I mean, I think we eye each other down. Me and T.O., we talk trash almost every day. Like, I airballed in practice one time, and he walked up to me. He was like, should I open a window? Like, So I don't know. So
that's kind of the starting point. You guys just talking trash, and then it built up to this hypothetical one-on-one matchup?
Yes, it built up to this one-on-one that's going to be absolutely legendary.
Don't you think you have certain advantages just because of your height and weight?
Listen, I don't ever underestimate my opponents. T.O., I'm telling you, you'll see.
Yeah,
I don't know. He's talking a big game. I might believe him. I don't know.
Maybe that's the strategy to disguise himself as Michael Jordan. Then he's more like, I don't know.
Hey, man.
Carlos Arroyo.
It'll be fun.
Hopefully the cameras will be there.
Let's hope. Or you, and then you could tell everybody.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Hey.
Two other questions I have before we skip it to our viewer questions. I heard that you call your father the GOAT.
Yeah.
Why?
Man, my dad is my role model. Just in mind, body, soul, he's taught me so much as a person, as a man, as a player. And he's got my back, just like my mother. Shout out my mom, just so she doesn't think she's not included. But he's got my back in every way, and I just love him.
So do they actually watch your games on YouTube or something like that?
Yes. They watch all the games that you don't have to pay for, because sometimes it's hard to find the link. Yeah. But they watch all my games.
So how do they look at you now that you made all this progress over the years and are actually living your dream as a basketball player, seeing the world?
I think they're getting more used to it, because when I left to go to Portugal, it was like this big thing. And then when I came home, we had a barbecue. But now I'm leaving. It's like, okay, see you next year. So it's becoming more normal. But they always talk about my growth, and they're seeing me really enjoying the game. And I've had some tough seasons in the past, and they're seeing me now in a really healthy season, and they're happy for me. So
sounds like they're very proud of you.
Yes. I'm blessed.
On your Instagram account, you mentioned the next generation of players a lot.
Yes.
So after all those years that you have experienced on a high school level, shortly, college level, and then overseas, what advice would you give to kids who are actually thinking about investing more time in basketball?
I would say start small and start. Start small and start. It's something that you just have to do. You just have to do it. You can't wait for someone to tell you that you can do it. You just have to believe in yourself. And if you're having trouble with that, put yourself around people that'll feed into that, because I don't think self-belief is something we innately have at full capacity. I think so you have to groom it. You have to grow it. Yeah. I would say that. Start small and start.
Sounds good. Some questions from our viewers and listeners. What do you do when you don't play basketball?
Oh, I love movies. I love anime. I hang out with Jovella, and I love naps.
Do you have a favorite anime?
Yes. Oh, my favorite anime is Hunter x Hunter.
Ooh,
that's my favorite. But my next would be Jujutsu Kaisen.
I think those are popular here in Germany as well.
Yeah, Kev, he's into anime. So,
really?
Yeah, Kev's into anime.
He didn't mention that.
Man. Didn't ask the question, man.
Yeah, that's my fault. We'll start an anime podcast.
Yeah. Hey, call me.
Kev will be interested as well, I think.
Cool beans. Cool.
Do you practice getting passes with Jorge? Because I think there's a lot of timing involved probably when you run those pick and rolls.
Oh, yes. In the beginning, me and Jorge did. But we play on the same team a lot in practice, so the reps come in practice. But I think me and Jorge just have great chemistry, man. From day one, we just clicked. And that chemistry off the court just makes its way right onto the court. We talk a lot. Like, we communicate all the time. So the timing is just there. Shout out Jorge, man. That's my guy.
I think it helps that you guys, the two of you, are so outspoken and open-minded, funny guys, fun to be around. I think that's probably helpful when it comes to building that chemistry.
Yeah, definitely. We're just people's people. And it just fits in. I think the whole team is just a great group of guys. And me and Jorge came in as foreigners, and we just fit right in. So
I think you can see that when you guys play out there. It's not just practice where not everybody has insight, but seeing you guys on the court, I think there's something there between you two.
Man, really? Like, y'all can really see that? Cool, B. That's cool.
The way you look at each other, you exchange these smiles, and I don't know. It's the big things and even the little things. I think when you actually watch the game, watch you guys, then I think it's obvious.
There was a moment that I knew Jorge had my back. It was, I forget who we played, but the refs were terrible, and I fouled out. I don't know if you remember the game. Me and Jorge ended up fouling out.
I think it was a home game, right?
Yeah, it was a home game, and I set a screen, and I got a charge, and I'm in a block and foul, and I fouled out. And Jorge turned around and was like, "That's not a foul." I was mad, but I'm like, yeah, he got my back.
I'm not quite sure if he actually got tossed from that game because of too technical.
I think Jorge got tossed from that game. So good intentions, that came out enough to get him tossed.
That went sideways quickly.
Well, yeah, it was here and then here.
Another listener checked out your Instagram and YouTube account and is interested whether you are interested in spirituality or philosophy.
Yes, both. I love spiritualism. I don't have a direct faith, but man, it's my life. It's the reason why I'm on this journey. It helps guide me. It's the reason why my lows are still highs. My highs are always highs. So very, very, very spiritual.
So something that you take a lot out of, not just for your private life, but also that professional career.
Yes, it comes first in everything.
Do you prefer German or Dutch beer?
German or Dutch beer? Ooh.
Did you taste German beer?
Did I taste German? I did taste German beer. I did taste Dutch beer, but I have to say the best beer I've had is Portuguese beer.
Okay, I think we will come to an end here.
Oh, did I mess up? Oh, did I just mess up? To answer the question, I'm going to, I don't know. I got to go with Portuguese. I'm sorry. That's too hard of a question.
Yeah, okay. Maybe we'll let you off the hook.
I'm not a big drinker, though, so I'm probably the wrong person to ask.
Yeah, but I don't know. Germans are very proud when it comes to beer. So
I just messed up.
Yeah, totally.
I just messed up.
Maybe some fans will hand you a beer during the next game.
Or no one's going to cheer me on. I'm going to get booed. Diante Bah, boo.
Go to Portugal.
Go to Portugal is crazy.
How are you so consistent in everything? Because you are one of the most effective players in the entire league.
I have the same routine from my warm-up. Like, my teammates make fun of me. They say that my warm-up, because I do the high knees, I look like a track runner. And then my stretch routine, I just keep everything the same. I take things away depending on the matchup, the team I'm about to play, depending how my body's feeling, but I just stick to the plan. And, man, I think that's, if anything's my talent, it's not basketball, it's the ability to stay disciplined and be consistent. I would say that's my talent.
So that track athlete is still somewhere in there.
Oh, he's there. Every time I step on the court, I'm ready to run. He's there. Don't worry.
Yeah, Joe said when he wants to build a dream team, he wants you at the 5 just so you can run that floor.
I appreciate you, Joe. That's awesome.
Yeah, he said, I don't see Shaq guarding him and running down the floor in a fast break situation.
Listen,
so
if he gets it in the half court, I'm done.
Yeah.
But full court, nah, he's not keeping up with me.
Nah, definitely not.
I'm out.
What do you enjoy most after practice?
What do I enjoy most after practice? Ooh, cooking and eating. I love cooking. So cooking a good meal, eating, putting on a show. Right now I'm watching Lost.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoy that, relaxing.
Is there a certain cuisine that you are most fond of?
Pastas, lots of pastas, any pasta. I like pesto, that's a big thing. And yeah.
Do you make your own pasta?
My own, like, pasta or the dish pasta?
No, pasta.
No.
Okay.
With the
yeah, with the equipment and everything.
No. If I play in Italy one day, maybe I get to learn.
That'd be great.
Yeah, you never know, but
I think that whole discipline thing will be tested there when you have all those amazing dishes around you. I think I would eat 24/7.
Man, tell me about it. I love Italian food. I love, even German food is good. Like the currywurst. I don't eat pork, but they had chicken currywurst. I had some good German dishes. So,
okay, I think you have. Yeah, that beer thing is.
Did I recover?
Yeah, you recovered.
Okay, even a little bit. I'm trying.
Close call, though. How are you able to jump so high?
I would say genetics, but also I work on it. Like I've been doing calf raises. That was the first workout I did way back in high school when I was running track. Just calf raises and calf raises, squats, and just growing every year. I always improve every season. My weights get heavier. I get higher and higher.
So that might be something the kids could try at home.
Yes, if I could tell and I tell this to all the kids when I do camps, all the places I play, calf raises, start with that. Go to your steps, go halfway on with your toes, and go up and down 30 times in the morning. Don't do more every day.
I heard that when I was a teenager as well. So it's common knowledge probably. So
can you dunk on me?
No, I'm small.
You probably did like 28. You should have did 30. If you did 30.
I never did it, to be honest.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just on the theoretical side of basketball.
Okay,
I'm not a player myself.
It's okay.
Yeah. I got my ass kicked when I played against Joe, so.
Oh, you played against Joe.
Yeah. We had a shootout. It didn't go well.
Listen, everybody knows Joe is a shooter, but Joe can play one-on-one, man.
Yeah. I saw him play Kevin in a one-on-one many months ago. That was crazy.
Joe he's a beast.
Yeah. He showed an up and under move in the post. Joe, where's that coming from?
I always tell him, like, Joe, who is I thought it was Kyle Korver, but he's too good at one-on-one to be Kyle Korver.
Yeah.
So I don't know who Joe's NBA archetype is. Who would you say?
Oh, that's difficult.
I just don't know.
You put me on the spot here.
Yeah, hey, who's interviewing who?
I don't know, maybe some Klay Thompson kind of guy, maybe.
Okay,
because he's
okay.
playing both sides. He can come off screens. He can, I don't know, kind of create his own three-pointer, but he could attack the closeout.
Yeah, I like that.
The post moves, I don't know. Klay never had that, but it's the first name that popped into my head now.
We could start with that. I'll tell him today in practice.
Do that. Okay, last topic. You have to assemble a kind of dream team, but you're a 76ers guy, if I remember correctly.
Yes, 76ers.
So you have to assemble a starting five of 76ers players, but you are also part of that five.
Wow.
And these four guys that you want to have on your team have to fit your play style.
Have to fit my play style.
It can be current players and it could be legends, whoever you want.
Okay. Wow, that's difficult. Okay. At the point guard, I'm going Allen Iverson.
Sure.
He's a monster. At the shooting guard, I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this, but I'm going prime Ben Simmons.
Oh.
I'm going prime Ben Simmons. That's a great. I like that.
It's crazy to say prime Ben Simmons when this dude had his prime at like 20 years old.
Listen. I saw him live, man. That dude was a monster, bro. I don't care what anybody says. At the three, Julius Erving. I'm going Julius Erving at the three. I'm going me at the four and Joel Embiid at the five.
So there's actually one shooter on the team with Joel Embiid.
Will Chamberlain or Joel Embiid?
Ooh.
I don't know.
Could you play the 3?
I could figure it out. If I played at 3, Joel Embiid at the 4, and I'm putting Will Chamberlain at the 5.
Wow, that would be crazy.
I think that would be the most unstoppable lineup.
You would just run up and down like crazy.
That's it. I will go to the corner and shoot.
And you would have a lot of size.
Yes.
Ben Simmons at the 2.
Yes. AI throwing oops. Ben Simmons throwing oops. Joel Embiid can throw, like, it's cool.
You are throwing oops, maybe.
I'm throwing oops. Backdoor baseline cuts all day.
Boom.
Man, that would be a great team to play for. Great team.
Championship.
Yes. Guaranteed.
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 No matter who's coming off the bench.
No matter who, we could have, I'm not going to say, we could have Joe Schmo and his brothers come up the bench. It doesn't matter. Put the starting 5 back in.
Joel has to stay healthy, though.
Yeah, definitely.
So are they contenders, in your opinion, to make a small step into the NBA world? The current team.
The current, I don't know. I think so. That's gonna be my Sixers fan base. Yes. It's hard to say, man. It depends on Embiid's health. Like, it really depends. If he's healthy, yes, absolutely. If he's not, no.
Yeah, I think if he stays healthy from now on, I think they won't even be in the play-in tournament. They will be in the playoffs for sure.
Exactly.
And then there will be trouble for everybody.
We see when he's on the court, we're winning. No one can stop him. He's too big.
Yeah.
So I think we'll be all right. I hope we are, because I want to go to a game after the season. That would
right, summertime. That would be when you're at home.
Yes.
But Jersey and Philly, that's not far away, right?
Nah, it's 30-minute drive.
Okay, yeah, that's easy.
Easy.
Yeah.
So
fuck Brooklyn or let's just go to Philly.
I don't even know who's on Brooklyn besides Ben Simmons and yeah. I don't know who else is on Brooklyn. I don't really watch the NBA, but I don't know who's on Brooklyn. Like, I just don't.
Yeah, I mean, they have a fire sale going on right now, so
wow,
everything changes.
Fire sale.
Okay, so that brings our episode to a close for today.
That was dope, man.
Thank you very much, Diante, for being here. It was a lot of fun.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you behind the computer, man. I know your job is not easy either.
Shout out, Dennis.
Shout out, Dennis.
All the best for you during the season. I will see you again on the court, whether it be in practice or during the games.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, then we will go for the title.
That's the plan, man. That's the plan.
All right.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's go it. Ja, ihr da draußen, vielen Dank auf jeden Fall, dass ihr wieder dabei wart, zugehört habt, zugeschaut habt vielleicht auch auf YouTube, auf dem Kanal der Kangaroos. Ich habe es eingangs vergessen zu erwähnen. Ja, abonniert den Podcast ganz gerne, folgt auf den ganzen Social-Media-Kanälen, verpasst nichts und dann sehen wir uns bei der nächsten Folge oder hören uns bei der nächsten Folge wieder, immer donnerstags vor den Heimspielen. Macht's gut, ciao.